Welcome back to Eternal Senia. See, I got it right eventually, but how are you doing today? Because this Jack in the Chest is, not gonna be doing so well soon. Don't insult the girl with the sword. I forgot she said that, actually. But anyway, last time, we confronted Sister MacLeod, who was possessed by the power of eternity. But despite our efforts, we were denied our happy ending. I don't know how to transition from that, because this time, we're going to be going over some other things I want to talk about, but quite simply couldn't fit anywhere else. The first thing I want to talk about is the translation. My god, this translation. I don't know who exactly worked on this translation, but it's pretty clear that they only have a very simple grasp on how the English language works. And it makes reading some of this dialogue really hard to do in live commentary. In fact, here's an outtake from episode 6. I've not been able to walk out of the fact of your loss, what? I cannot forgive him. I just can't forgive myself. Forgive those who left me. What? Why am I the one alive? This translation! It's probably my only big complaint with the game as a whole, but I'm not here to rag on a below-average translation that still gets its point across. What I actually want to talk about is a couple of quirks involving this translation. For example, the Fairy Queen. I have gotten a large majority of the characters' names wrong, and I apologize for that. I partly blame my dyslexia. But the Fairy Queen's name, which I must have given at least 3 different pronunciations in the LP, might have actually been a translation error. She goes by Milkwhip in this game, but in the sequel she's referred to as Mothka. And yes, I know I butchered both of those names. I don't actually have any evidence to support this, so it could just be as simple as a name change, but I find it hard to believe that they would change the name of one returning character at the risk of confusing existing fans. As for Senia and Nia, that's entirely on me. Another thing I'd like to point out is that there's actually a few untranslated lines in this game. They're all in places where you normally wouldn't look, and hell, the one place I did try looking didn't even have one. In fact, this segment was originally going to be about only one single line of dialogue because that's all I thought there was. But thanks to the Cherry Blossom Gamer on YouTube, I found more examples that I actually didn't even know about. So even if it was indirectly, thanks Cherry Blossom. Now, let's talk about something I actually couldn't show you guys. The latest patch of this game, at the time of this video, includes a trailer for the sequel, Eternal Senia Hydrogen After the Rain, once finishing the game with the third ending, like we did in the Let's Play. I wasn't going to show this in the finale anyways, since I feel it would have taken a lot out of the moment, but the reason I couldn't show this trailer, and you won't believe this, is because the game blocked my recording software. I'm not joking! The game went full-out PlayStation 4 on me and paused my recording software because it detected I was trying to record a blocked scene, I guess. I don't know why this is exactly, but just to show I'm not making this up, here's the part where my recording software gets blocked. And here's where the software is finally able to start recording again. Right at the title screen. And in case you're curious, yes, I use Bandicam. But enough about translations and things I can't show you for whatever reason, let's talk about gameplay quirks. First, something that I didn't even notice until I was checking the first upload for any issues is that at the start of the game, there's no music, and it doesn't kick in until you defeat the first couple of enemies. Honestly, I think that's a pretty decent way to kick things off. The Phantom Strike is somewhat inconsistent. I've seen the attack hit things next to me rather than in front of me. I've seen it hit nothing at all despite the enemy just slowly inching to the side. But probably the weirdest thing I've seen it do is, well, this. To my knowledge, this only happens if you use the Phantom Strike between a screen transition, and I've never been able to get this to occur on a screen with enemies, so I have no idea if you can still attack like this. But if anyone watching has been able to do this, please let me know. I live for stupid things like this. Remember that really cool moment at the Demon Frontier where we climbed up the final staircase with the full moon on display? Well, I'm about to ruin that entire scene for you, because if you start your ascension up the stairs and immediately go back down, the moon just kind of lingers on screen. This is because the event for the moon appearing is scripted to trigger on the first step, the event itself is time-based, and the moon graphic is displayed on the top layer rather than in the background. To put it simply, the developer just didn't expect anyone to go back down the stairs. As I mentioned before, each of the game's bosses, starting with the Fairy Queen, has 3 different difficulty levels. An easy mode for those who mainly want to enjoy the story, a normal mode, which is what we've done, and a hard mode for those who want the challenge. The hard difficulty for the true final boss is notorious among fans, some even claiming it to be unbeatable. It's not impossible to do, but it is pretty hard considering you need to have the cross pennant equipped before dealing the final blow in the previous battle. If you're having trouble with the Eternal MacLeod fight, you can swap the cross pennant for a more helpful accessory. Just remember to re-equip it when you have to reload your save. Like most games, not everything makes it into the final product. Eternal Senia has several songs found in the game's files that went unused in the final game. So, why don't we have a quick listen and see what we missed out on? If any of these songs sound familiar to you, it's likely you may have heard them before. Most of, if not all of the music in this game was taken from multiple websites made for sharing royalty-free music, and lots of indie games share the same music as a result. Wait, hold up, pause. Okay, so I'm currently in the editing phase for the bonus video as I'm recording this, and when I went to verify some of my research, I discovered something that needs to be addressed to anyone who wants to visit these websites for any reason. All of the developer sources for this game are listed in both the credits and a text document in the game's files. These are the same sources I used for my own research. Some of the provided sources no longer work. However, one of the websites have changed domain owners as early as November of 2018. As a result, the site no longer hosts any music and now contains content that would not only be considered not safe for work, but could also put your computer at risk. And while yes, I did fail to mention the broken links in my original recording because, quite frankly, I didn't see it as all that important, I had to step in and give a warning about this particular site and the potential dangers surrounding it. So please, for your sanity and mine, do not go to the Sarapora website. That's all I had to say on this matter. Sorry for the rather abrupt cut-in. However, because of just how many songs were used across all these websites, it's really hard to pin down one specific song, and the only titles I have to go off of are the sound file's placeholder names. The only song I was able to pinpoint for sure is the second song I played. The name roughly translates to Even If You Feel Sad, and it comes from the Tam Music Factory website. And while I wasn't able to track down the source for the first song I played, I do know that it shares a spot in the Mogekiko Castle soundtrack under the title Piano 1. Song number 3 seems to have a piano melody accompanied by a choir, which makes me believe it was meant to be played in the church at some point. And I believe the final song is a music box rendition of another song in the game, but I don't have a good ear for this stuff, and it could very much be my mind looking for something that really isn't there. On the fourth song I played, unfitting in my opinion. Speaking of unused assets, I want to talk about some of the resources that were used. I mentioned in one of the earlier episodes that this game takes heavy inspirations from Ragnarok Online. But when the developer said inspiration, I didn't think that meant ripped straight from the source material. Yep, this is official artwork from Ragnarok Online. I'm sorry, but I can't defend this. If you're gonna make a game like this, at least try to design your own characters. Thankfully, the characters were given redesigns for the sequel, but it was kind of disappointing to learn this in my research, especially when you've shown you have a way to make your own artwork. And now, for what most of you probably expected to see in the bonus video, the bonus room. This has been available to us since the Demon Frontier, but we've never had the code to access it before. The room itself is filled with developer notes, and even a little minigame. Sounds interesting, huh? Well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm not going to show the bonus room. Hear me out. After completing the third ending, you'll be given the URL to a questionnaire that, when filled out, will give you the code to enter the bonus room. The fact that this code is locked behind a questionnaire tells me that the creator wants as much feedback on the game as possible. Some might argue that there's no point in leaving feedback considering that the developer has moved on to their next project, but I'd argue that any critique could still be helpful for any of their future endeavors. So, if you want to see the bonus room, download the game and fill out the questionnaire yourself. Now, all that's left are the other two endings. The endings of Eternal Senia are infamous among fans because there is no happy ending. If anything, they're just darker shades of gray. Black? They're not happy. So, let's just rip off the band-aid. The first ending, you get for beating MacLeod without the cross pendant equipped. And the second ending you get for pushing her away after the final boss. And with those final tearjerkers, that's it for Eternal Senia. I don't know what will come next, but I hope to see you guys again for whatever that may be. Take it easy and stay positive, everyone.